our panelists, Judy Reyes, Gloria Reuben, Fátima Molina, and Camila Nuñez.
Hello, everyone.
Before we get to some of our questions for today, Camila, can you tell us a little bit how you prepared for your role in this film?
Yes. Hi, everybody. Just with my acting coach, with the director Alan, and my mom Patty in the movie. To know each other better and do a good job.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Suzanne, you're up. Suzanne, I think you're on mute.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
You're up.
Yes. Gloria, can you tell us something about your character in this movie? Because I didn't get to see it.
Well, Ginger Thompson is the journalist who broke the story. I don't know how much I'm, able to disclose, but I will, it's common knowledge that a tape was leaked, and Ginger got hold of the tape from inside the detention center, one of them, that's all I'm going to say, and she broke the story. She, as soon as she heard the tape, she was up all night documenting it, writing about it, and submitted it to ProPublica, and yeah, the rest is history. The whole world ended up knowing about what was exactly going on. It's great. She's amazing.
Okay, great. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you, Suzanne. Jamie, you're up next.
It's such an incredible movie. Judy, for you, what was it that really drew you to this project? I mean, to have 4 strong female leads is probably enough, but also the subject matter has to be a little, strenuous on you as well, though.
I mean, I was immediately attracted to the story. I've been a huge follower of the issues on the border for the last 4 years since it gained all that attention. And it really mattered to me as a mother. I'm completely heartbroken by the fact that, a government would separate the children from their parents. I can't imagine what it's like. And, the thought of it always made me cry. It felt like a bit of a gift to me when it came in my direction to be able to participate in the telling of this story. And I was just excited and really honored to be a part of it, along with, if the truth is if women don't do it, it don't get done. And so this particular film with all these women fighting for each other, for themselves, for the truth, and for what's right.
And for Camila, you have to cry on camera so much. It was so sad watching
I know.
all those tears. How did you get into that frame of mind to be so sad? And then how did you shake off those sad feelings?
It was really easy, when you know the part, when you know the characters. And I had the possibility to talk to Cindy Madrid, who is the real character in real life, and when she told me what she had to, what happened to them, to her and her daughter, it was like so painful. It was like really, really strong for me. And you cannot, go into that kind of part, into that feeling, knowing everything what them was, going through. And I don't know, for me and for actresses, actors, I know that what we do is to entertain, but if we can leave a message to the world, this is ideal. And I think this movie, it's doing all this. For me, it's really, really important that the world know this story, this history. And I know it's a great, great movie and that you will enjoy it.
Actually, my question was for Camila. Camila, can you hear me? She's on.
Yes.
I was asking you, it must have been very difficult for you to have to cry so much during the movie. How did you shake off all of those sad feelings?
Camila, we can come back to you if you want to think about it. Jay, do you want to answer in the meantime? Thank you.
Lo sentí.
She
Thank
said she felt it.
Thank you.
And it was, I mean, it's the simplest way to put it. She's a really extraordinary young actor and who has a real understanding and a connection of the story that she's telling. And it was a real thrill to be around her and a real
Yeah.
inspiration. She's a very powerful young actress.
She is.
Thank you. Jay?
Hello, my question is for Gloria. Actually, a two-pronged question for you, Gloria. Did you actually meet Ginger, and if so, how did you find her? And also, journalism, as we know, is going through the times it's going through, and reporters are being regarded in the way they're being regarded. Did you feel a special responsibility to portray journalism in the positive light that the story reflects?
Right. Well, I think the truth of the story reflects that kind of positive light on its own. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to meet Ginger in person. I came on quite late in the process of just prior to the film starting production. But I did end up, meeting with her via Zoom shortly thereafter. And again, needless to say, she is extraordinary. She's a Pulitzer Prize winner and has been a journalist for I don't know how many decades now. But she is extremely committed to the truth. And as you said, journalism has been under attack, particularly under the leadership of the same person that implemented this zero tolerance policy, right? So I think that both kind of goes hand in hand with the destruction of the truth and humanity, and what many of us experienced either as unfortunate witnesses or part of the destruction of those two things, as this story reveals. So again, Ginger is, as you can imagine, during that time when the story broke, and she did travel to Texas, that she was not the only journalist who wanted to get this story, needless to say. That's how our story unfolds. But there was, and I believe very strongly, a continuous effort and dedication and drive and commitment to true journalism making its mark, because eventually the truth is revealed. Now, whether people choose to believe the truth, we have no control over. But for those journalists like Ginger Thompson, the fight continues. So it was, I know this is said a lot, and I have portrayed actual living people before, but this one is it's pretty cool, if you will. It's too general a term, but she's kind of a rock star in my book, so that says a lot.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. And there is some Spanish dialogue in this movie. Can you speak to how important that was? Anyone could take that.
For me, it was very important. It speaks to the authenticity of the story that we're telling. Although it challenges the audience to actually keep up, but the fact is that that's probably part of the challenge of the situation that caused this so-called zero tolerance policy when people are not familiar. But it gives us an opportunity to step into a world, into another person's struggle through their very experience. So for me, it was exciting. To have a film that presents the Spanish, and that we struggle to keep it in, was very important to all of us, everybody that you see on the screen, for the very reasons that that's the story that you're telling. And there's really no reason not to. Obviously, you have to allow a balance, but I think that we did a really wonderful job, and I appreciate Lifetime for bringing the story to you.
Thank you. Howard, you're up next.
This question is for Judy. As Gloria stated, the previous administration instituted this policy of zero tolerance and separation of family. But that situation still is instituted, it's still occurring. How many families are still separated, and the reparation of the family members, how is that coming along?
I can't speak to the actual number, but it's an unacceptable number. It is in the thousands of the families that are still being separated from their children. Some have been sent back. Others are still here. It's been such a chaotic and disorganized and dreadful process that a lot of parents are having trouble seeking and finding where their children are. I know that the current administration is doing what is in their power to reunite the children, because they do acknowledge it. We all wish, I know I wish that it could be done faster, that more attention can be given to it. But I'm hopeful, because a light has been focused and given the story of Cynthia and Jimena, and how the truth about the reasons that people come here, the struggle that they have getting here, the attempts that they make, the multiple attempts, because things back home where they live are that bad. And the desensitization of the people who are in charge of these facilities, for lack of a better term, and always looking for that one light, because people who actually risk coming here are of extraordinary hope and faith. And because they don't want to surrender to the struggle, to the crime, to the threats, especially with their children. And I do appreciate the efforts that are being made by the current administration.
Do you find any irony in the fact that this is a nation of immigrants, and the fact that the person who instituted the policy was the son of a grandson of an immigrant, and yet there seems to be like a thought process that my family should be the last family that's entered?
Of course, it's absurd, and it is rooted in a lot more than irony. And I also, as well as Fátima, got to speak to the people who we play. I got to speak to Thelma, and the thing about Thelma is that she's been doing this for decades, because she knows that's how it is, and that's how it's always been. And our attempt in telling a story like this is that it changes, because it's simply wrong. You know, it can't be that because you came here before me, or because your people came here in another way, on a boat, on a plane, or whatever the heck, or undocumented, that you get to be the last one. You know, it speaks to a lot of the things that we have to pay attention in other countries where people leave for this very reason. Nobody wants to leave their own land. You know, they want to leave fear and crime and danger.
Climate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Makisha.
Hi, yes, I had a question for Fátima. Am I saying your name right?
Fátima, yes.
Fátima, yes, I love your name. Yes, I loved you on Who Killed Sarah, and I wanted to talk about
thank you.
Yes, this is a very different motherhood role for you.
Yeah.
And thankfully, because we didn't even get well, I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But anyway, can you talk about, is that one of the reasons you wanted to take this role? And are you hoping to sort of, broaden your audience and get more exposure on this side of the map?
Well, I have no doubt of this story. I think this is a call of what has happened and continue happening, and for me, it's really important that so many people can watch this movie, this story. It's really, really important for me as a Mexican. I know that we are speaking for a lot of people, and this is really important for all the team that we are part of this. And I'm so sure that so many people are going to understand what we want to say. Mm-hmm. This is not correct, and we want that things change in this kind of situations. We really need a changes in all the world. And I'm so glad to be a part of this project. I'm so happy to share with these amazing people. They're an amazing actresses, and I'm just so happy to present this. I know this is a big, big call to a lot of people, and I feel good.
Me too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And our final question before we go is for everyone, if you could tell us what it was like filming on location in Mexico.
No comment. No, I'm just kidding.
You know, for me, because there was so much Spanish in the film, it spoke to, it really challenged me. Spanish was my first language, but I mean, I've communicated in English most of my life. And I'm from the Caribbean, and this is obviously a Central American country. There's something palpable about the struggle that shooting on location brings you. You know, it kind of almost puts you in that place.
Yeah.
I think as actors, we also have a tendency to create it. It's not like we're dramatic or anything, but it was, I thought it was really essential. It brought a lot to me, and that I'll always have with me. And the wonderful people that we work with just worked really hard to realize this film. I think they received the challenge as well through the story that we were telling.
Yeah, no question. I just have to say, Judy, to echo that for sure. The crew was awesome. It was amazing, and I didn't do a lot of exterior stuff, but of course, to have that kind of, the stuff, the scenes that I know were shot exterior, you had to have it there, and you had to film it there because it's literally in the air. Everything looks different, everything feels different when you're actually on the ground in the areas where, that are very indicative of the true story. So, yeah, but again, the crew, awesome, amazing, hardworking, and it's terrific in that regard for sure. Great director too, so.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all our panelists.